Hello, today I'm going to be talking about the projectile module on the CA6. So here's an air pellet rifle that I have clamped into a vise just to keep it from moving around. And there's the projectile module. And the way it works is it has a detection system here and back here, and it knows the distance between those. So as the bullet passes over, it can figure out how fast the bullet is going, and it reports that information back to you. And it also then allows you to say how many inches from this second sensor you want the bullet to be when the flashes are triggered. So in this case, my target is that red globe, and it's about 13 inches. So you'll see in the software in a little bit that I have it set over 13 inches because I want the bullet passed through the globe. And then back there I have a metal plate and a pellet stop. So for cameras, it's just a standard DSLR camera with a macro lens, and I've got two high-speed Vela flashes. I'm actually working on my own flashes right now, but for now I'm using the Vela, and they're good flashes. I like them. So if we take a look at the software, first thing I set up was the camera and flash settings, and most of these are defaults. The only thing I changed were on port number 2, I changed it to a flash, and on port number 3, I changed it to a flash. So everything else is the defaults there. And then if I go into the projectile menu, what you'll see here is you have to set the trigger values so this is light 1 and this is light 2. And here I'm going to put my hand over light 1 like this, and you'll see that the value is really high there, and if I remove my hand, it drops down to 358 right now. So that's sort of the ambient amount of IR light being detected, and you need to set the trigger levels a little bit higher than that. It kind of varies depending on your environment and stuff, so this is something you'll just have to sort of get some experience with. I sometimes, go, between 10 and 50 higher. If you set it too high, it won't trigger when the pellet goes past. If you set it too low, you'll get extra triggers every now and then. And then the distance to the target, you can see I entered in 1500, and that's in hundredths of an inch, so that's 15 inches, and I said it's 13 inches, so I want the bullet sort of 2 inches past the target. And that's pretty much it for the software settings. Now if I hit the photo mode, so now we're in photo mode. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pass my hand over the sensors, and that triggers everything, and you can see that my hand was moving at about 2 feet per second. Now a bullet's going to move a lot faster than that, but that gives you an idea of sort of how the system's going to work. Now I'll show you a couple other tricks. So with my pellet gun, I like this kind of break action because you can actually take a rod, stick it right through the barrel like this. And well, that's going to trigger it obviously, but it also shows you exactly where the bullet's going to impact things. So that looks like a pretty good hit to me. So if you look at it from camera level, it's going to be a little below the halfway mark, but that's a good spot to hit the globe. Now, at this point, I'd be ready to load it. And because it's loaded, I'm going to grab this shield over here that I wear. Never had a problem with a ricochet because of the pellet capture system I showed you before, but I like to, have a second level of security here. And now If I close the gun, I go over here. So now you'd turn off the lights in the room, but because I'm making a video, I'll keep the lights on. There's this trigger cams button that I'm going to hit. And because my camera's in bulb mode, it triggers the camera and just kind of waits. And it's waiting for a trigger event before it triggers the flashes. If you press it a second time, it actually triggers the flashes. And this lets you verify that your exposure is good. In this case, it's not going to be because I'm in a well-lit room. And yeah, my exposure is just going to be bad here. It's not going to work. But I'm going to do it in this lit room so you can see what's happening. So what I'd normally do is I'd hit this trigger cams button. And then I would go and pull this. And that triggered all the flashes. And the projectile's gone. So you can see camera went off, all the flashes went off. So it was a success. And that's basically how the projectile module works. So thanks for watching, and I'll show you a few pictures I've taken with this setup.